Okay, that's just an interesting point. Now the thing is that we're at the moment going through what's called a dry sclerophyll forest. So sclerophyll. Phyll is the word phylum, leaf. Okay, sclero is small and hard. Okay, so small hard leaf. And it's a small hard leaf forest. And once you look at a lot of the trees, the myrtles and the leatherwoods, the leaves are actually small and hard. Oh. So the thing is that this is a buffer zone. If we were to keep driving up that road, there's then a wet sclerophyll and then a dry eucalypt and then a tarn shelf. And all of these are buffer zones, okay? In order for the others to survive, they must have these. And so you'll find that this is surrounding a remnant rainforest. Okay. Once we're onto the west coast, after lunch, we're going through total rainforest. But as we go up the hills, it dries out to dry eucalypt. And you drop down into the valleys and it turns into lush rainforest. Okay. This is just an example of that. Now, as you make your way down, and I'll teach you more about the different plants when we're at the bottom. I should probably tell you about this guy. This one here is a Dicksonia antarctica. I just need to get a frond from a dead one. It's not a good example. Dicksonia antarctica. Dicksonia, that's simply all of your different palm trees, different fern types, gymnosperms. That's usually denoted by Dicksonia. But Antarctica, it's got Antarctica in the name. How cool is that? Now, I don't use Latin unless it actually teaches you about the plant, okay? But Dicksonia, Antarctica, and that's really important. So, to understand why that's important, first we need to make sure where our knowledge is at, okay? So, are we all happy with continental drift theory? Yeah, the theory that all of the countries of the earth were once joined together, and since then slowly drift apart and then back and around. Yeah? And we all go, yeah. Do you know that it wasn't until 1912 that it was a German meteorologist, very observant people, the Germans, okay? German meteorologist, so he studied the weather, but he was in South America, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, and it was he who worked out, well, yeah, you've got, and people have been saying it for a while, a lot of the continents with a bit of imagination are like a jigsaw puzzle. Yeah, they all fit together in a way. Okay, Great Australian Bight, Antarctica. Yeah, put it on its side, you can fit South America, and then you can fit India, and then you fit Africa, and you split it all up. And okay, that had been around for about 40 years. All the ologists. See, everyone now has these bloody iPhones and they've got the entire world knowledge. Yeah, of course. No, you don't have knowledge. You are holding knowledge. You don't have knowledge. Yeah? This is back in the day when you had to study for a long time to gain knowledge. Okay? So like myself, maybe you didn't, you use books, yeah? Amazing things. I love books where you can turn a page. Anyway, this, and it is a big point because 1912, he realised the jigsaw puzzle, but the geology, okay, so 1.8 billion year old rock, 750 million year old rock, 300 million, 100 million, the rock layers, okay, lined up. Yeah. So the northwest coast of Australia and part of South America line up. Antarctica, Tasmania and South Africa geology lines up. Holy shit. So that was another tick. So the ologists of the world argued about this. And when I say ologist, you've got geologist, meteorologist, paleontologist. Okay, paleos look at these but in rocks, yeah, like an archaeologist. But all the ologists argued for 44 years. Yes, no, not possible. Yes, it's possible. Why is it? Yes, no. All the major brains argued this for 44 years. 1956, granted there were a couple of world wars in between there where They weren't talking about drift theory. But 1956 is when they finally went, okay, don't you love the voices? It's mating season for all the cockatoos, by the way. That's why you're hearing some great noises. That's yellowtail black, that noise. Different from the other one, which was going, that's the sulphur crested, the white cockatoo. That noise is black cockatoo. It's much more. Yeah, it's black cockatoo. So anyway, great, we've got jigsaw, we've got geology, but this was what sealed it. This exact structure is found in the fossils, the rocks of Antarctica. And that was the final, oh, hang on. So on this isle of the South Pole, which is just pure ice, nothing ever lived there. No. It would look like this. Okay, but once you're down the bottom of this and it's really lush, Gondwanan rainforest. Okay, and it's because of this guy, because he was found in the rocks. But he is still alive in Tasmania, Dicksonia, Antarctica. That was the final tick. Okay, and I'll be able to show you, this is number 1. I'll show you four species, what we call relics. Okay, relict species, which those 4, well, those four, all were big tick, because not only are they found in this one's in the rocks in Antarctica, I'll show you one of them, a myrtle, which is found on 5 continents, which are so far apart, there is no way a bird could fly that far and hold on to a crap. Okay, there is no way a seed could float that far in an ocean. Geographical isolation. So the only answer is it must have been joined for the same type of tree to be on 2 different countries. It's the plants that ended up making it. So again, didn't know this shit until I had to explain it. And I learnt it in a book. I never Google search shit. It's not me. All right, guys. From here, this is where I'm going to leave you, my beloved little family. And you guys are going to make your way down to Russel Falls. Okay? And that's where, while you're making your way down, I'll walk back out, drive in, and then walk in and meet you at Russel Falls. Okay? On the way down this track, there's another little waterfall. You'll see a boardwalk, but it's called Horseshoe Falls. It's not horseshoe shape. Okay, great for a photo. Keep going, you'll find yourself at the top of Russel Falls, and you walk down to the base, and that's where we'll meet up. All right. So long as you stick together, seriously, guys, if you see someone walking off the track, don't sit there and go, I can walk. No shit. One of the tour guides lost 2 Japanese girls here. And trust me, I don't mean to can Japan. I love my Japanese. But 2 Japanese girls here ended up, the tour guide got a phone call from the boss in Hobart, who got a phone call from reservations in South Australia, who got a phone call from 2 Japanese girls in this forest somewhere. 2 hours. They went missing for. Oh my God. And what would have happened if they didn't have their little iPhone? Holy shit. So just, seriously, it's great to have your space, but keep an eye on each other. All right? And I'll see you down at Russel Falls. It says 25 minutes. Seriously, 20 minutes is about how long the average person takes to get down there. 15 minutes if you walk at a normal, well, I call normal pace. No worries. But make your way down there. You'll see it all change. You might even see paddy melons. A paddy melon is the name we give to a small rufous wallaby. Okay. But it's a little ball of fluff about this big. Okay. Little head. Looks like it's sort of big fat rat, really. But it's part of the macropod family. There's 43 types of macropod. Macro, big. Pod, foot. Big feet. Okay. And he's about this big. All right. So tiny little arms. Okay. And he's just that's what he does. Okay, little hard tail. Okay, you might see him, you might not. Okay, but you will see paddy melons on this trip. I promise. They are everywhere. Okay, even sleeping on the road. All right.
Flying flag.
When they sleep, they like to let their guts out to air.